Okay, this is the new tri-merge instructions for your CPN for 2020. Things kind of change a little bit, but it's easier, in my opinion, to tri-merge CPN if you get a fresh CPN that is non-tri-merge. We're going to skip down to page 4. And the first part is the new address. It is crucial to understand that for this process to work, you will need a new address not linked to you in any form or fashion. If you use any address linked to you where you previously received mail, pay utilities, mail packages, you risk merging your CPN with your actual social security number, and your CPN will become obsolete. You should always set up a temporary mailing address when setting up a CPN number. It is very important unless you have various addresses at your disposal. We know that CPN is clear from being used as a social. We are still not sure if it is being used as a CPN. So that's part of the tri-merging process to make sure it's not being used as a CPN. And this will help you go through this. I have this whole packet on my page, freshcreditlife.com. You want to set up a temporary mailing address in order to tri-merge and test your CPN before applying your permanent CPN address. This will allow you not to waste addresses you want to use on your CPN already being used by someone else. The first step you want to do is go to Zillow.com. Enter a zip code at least 20 miles from your current address. And so when you apply for a CPN with me, I ask you for your zip code, and I will try merge it myself before I give it to you, or you can get it untri-merged for a cheaper price. Filter the search results for rental properties. Pick a home that is currently for rent. And the reason you may want to get this and keep it in your files is because you're going to want to go over this a few times. I know I had to, so it's good to have it and keep it. Copy the address. We'll be using this as a temporary test address for your CPN. Don't worry, this is only temporary. We will be removing this address at the end of the course and replacing it with whatever address you want that is not linked to you. Make sure you pick an address for a home, not an apartment. If you need to choose an apartment address for this process, make sure you choose the correct apartment number as shown in the Zillow listing. Make sure you write this down along with your CPN number. New phone number. You also need a new phone number. Easiest thing to do is go to Google Voice with your Gmail account and set up a phone number and link it to your phone number. It's going to forward there. And that way your CPN is tied to a separate number. Adding personal information to your CPN. In this step, we'll be creating a new credit profile with the credit bureaus. This will add your name, date of birth, and address to your CPN number. You will first want to make sure you have all the following information before starting. CPN number, a new address, a new phone number. The way you will be creating a new credit profile for your CPN is just like you would do for a social. You'll be applying for 2 cards. You want to get declined for both of these cards. This will automatically create a credit file on each of the credit bureaus and add the appropriate inquiries. The information you enter on these applications will be exactly what appears on your new credit report. So make sure in each one, you put your exact name, date of birth, temporary mailing address, and new phone number. It is also advisable you create a new email address. You can use your own employment information and income. You can also say that you are self-employed, and you can go get some check stubs at pstub.com for $4.99. You will start by applying for the following cards with your CPN and temporary address. The British Airways Signature Card, which is here. The City Advantage Platinum Select Visa, which is there. And the Lightstream Auto Loan, which is here. Next section, we'll be testing your CPN number to make sure it's not used as a CPN by someone else. When complete the steps above, please wait at least 2 hours before moving on to the next part. So you do these 3 applications. You're going to wait 2 hours before moving on. Testing CPN is not in use by anyone else. In this step, you will be doing some test applications to see if your CPN number is working correctly and not being used by anyone else as a CPN number. You will want to apply for 3 accounts. Please wait 30 minutes between each application and do them in order. Just like the previous video when I said wait 24 hours, 48, and 72 has been cut down, so I say it's better. We only expect to get approved for 1 of the following accounts. In some cases, you may be approved for 2. You must do these in order. First, you will be, the MGD is like ASN or QBC. It's like a merchant account where you buy their products and pay them monthly installments till it's paid off. The second one is a Capital One Platinum card. That will be the second thing you'd apply for. And the last would be Road Loans Auto loan. If you get approved for the Capital One, you can get between $300 to $500 limits. If you get approved for the road loans, it's up to $30,000 auto loan. And MDG is going to be, I think, $2,500 or up to $3,000 credit, store credit. If you are not approved for any of these accounts, there's something wrong with your CPN number, or someone else is already using it as a CPN number. If this is the case, start from the top. Section 2, which Section 2 is in the packet. You can pick the packet up on the website. We went through that in the previous video. You will need to make a new CPN number and test it again. Make sure you use a new address again, a new phone number, a new email, using temporary mailing address technique above. And the next step will be credit monitoring. In this step, we'll be setting up your credit monitoring. It's very important to note that you may face verification randomly with any of these. This is the reason we offer you 3 options. If you have done all the above steps correctly, you should be able to fly right through this step. You got Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, and free credit reports. Now you get 3 options. Any of them may randomly require you to send proof of identity, such as ID. If this happens, just overlook that one, skip it, and go to the next. Once you are verified and inside one of these credit monitoring services, you will notice something right away. Your score is a 0 or NA. And there are plenty of ways you can get a quick score. It's going to be one in an upcoming video I'm going to do right after this. And like I say, the self-lender, the one I've been talking about for the last couple months, that's a way to get you an instant score. This is normal. Remember, you recently set up the CPN number and no payment account or information has been added to your credit profile yet. Once you get to building history on your CPN, you will get you a score. At this point, you have a fully built CPN number with credit monitoring, but we still have to do a little bit of work to get this the way you expect it to be. You forward your temporary address. If you are on this step, it's because you were approved for one of the above accounts. If you were not approved for one of the above accounts, you need to try again. Chances are someone is using that number as a CPN number. You want to go to movers.ups.com, USPS.com, and forward your address to your permanent CPN address now that you know that it's not being used. Enter your temporary CPN address and the final forwarding address. Make sure this final mailing address is where you can actually receive mail and is not associated with you in any form or fashion. We'll be updating this address on the credit bureaus also. You need to complete this section only if you're using a temporary mailing address as suggested above. And check that out. Public record. Now it is time to set up your public record. This will cement your CPN and allow you to do much more. It will be also the first step in changing your address on the credit bureau systems. If you forget while we are doing this, it is to allow testing on your CPN without wasting addresses. First, go to listyourself.net. I talked about that in the first try merging video. Once on that page, enter CPN information using the address you will be keeping permanently. The public record will give you added boost when applying for cards, loans, and such and such. Do not use your forwarding address in this step. Use the address where you are forwarding and picking up mail not associated with you. This is the last two final step in updating your credit file. By now, you should have a CPN number that is validated, tri-merged, tested, clean forwarding address, new number. You should have forwarded your mail to your permanent address and have filled public records out. If all of the above is true, you can move to the next and final step, setting up your CPN number. And now this is the final step to completing your CPN, and it's ready to go. Use and it's good. It's step 11, update address on credit profile. The way to do this is just like step 6, adding your information to your CPN. You will just need to do one single application this time. This will send an instant notification to the credit bureau to add your permanent mailing address to your credit report. Apply for American Express Platinum Card. The link is right here. We are not looking for approval here, just using Amex as a means of transmitting information to the credit bureau. Make sure you did not use your temporary mailing address. The point of this step is to update your address on file. Use your permanent mailing address that is not associated with you, as explained before. That is all you need to do to make sure your CPN number is good. Remember, this is a new CPN number and it has no score. You have a few options for your CPN number score to be able to apply for other cards. First option is to build your CPN number like a traditional credit file, by adding a secure card or having a co-signer help you obtain credit loans while you build history. The other option is to add trade lines to your CPN numbers. Below we will give you two methods from our trade line program, which teaches you how to add primary trade lines to your credit report. And I talk about that in many videos, and the next video, because this one's kind of long, we'll be talking about one of these options. Thank you. Contact me through email, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can text or call that number there. And just for making it to the end of the video, I'm going to be giving out 3 CPNs that are tri-merged to random people. So I need you to go like the Facebook page, like the Instagram, and it's going to be a survey at the end in the description box. If you complete the survey and do those 3 things, or some people don't got Instagram or Facebook, one or the other, but I'll randomly pick 3 people to give out a CPN by the end of the week, just as a thank you for you guys watching my videos and learning information about these CPNs with me.